Okay, Ollie, we can see that ball started straight and had a big curve to the right, mate. And we've got ourselves a bit of a hanging lie, ball below the feet. Now, not only do we see a lot of players struggle with that flight, that squirted out to the right, but we also see them sometimes overcompensate and hit it this way, expecting a zero-sum game that just because the ball's below the feet, the ball is going to go wildly to the right. But that's not always the case, is it?
No, not at all. And I think, like you saw there, they've probably seen some videos you've done, and they might think this is going to leak out to the right. I'm going to do X, Y, Z with the club face and try and avoid that, small fade, push fade to the right.
Okay, so let's say that the ball is below the feet. I want you to jump in here and kind of talk about what would happen to the mechanics of the swing, which can encourage the ball to go right if it is below your feet.
Okay, so yeah, first up with the club face, which for most clubs is definitely going to start the ball. And it'd be hard to see on camera here, but we'll get the little club face gadget on there. As the ball goes down and I get nearer the ball and lift the handle up a little bit this way, it points the face. So that would be ball kind of level. If I go there and lower the head, lifting the handle up, the face now is already pointing somewhat to the right-hand side.
Yeah, very much so. And just that simple awareness around that with ball below the feet can help players have a better understanding that it's not exactly going to start dead straight. Now that is assuming your alignment is in check.
Correct.
We find a lot of players might not have the greatest static alignment from where they're set up at address. So assuming you have a straight alignment, all things being equal, the ball will go to the right. Now, what other effects would we see on the golf swing as you then swing back, mate? So from your address, swing to the top for me. Perfect. Now from here, what would we generally see players do when the ball's below their feet, subconsciously, to get contact with that ball?
Well, contact's like definitely the key thing as we're looking to strike it well, which would be, so I'll say the first thing we want. So you see a lot of players maybe lift it to then come down to reach the ball that could be, 2, 3, 4 inches below where they're standing.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a lot more arm lift we tend to see.
Okay.
Because of the slope and maybe how they're balancing, quite tough to rotate, so you don't really get much depth on the backswing.
Yeah.
So it's more of an arm lift, less rotation, that's tend to, they'll get somewhere here at the top of their backswing.
Yeah, for sure. And then as a result of that, and we see most amateur golfers would struggle with this, they kind of get to the top and they don't want to lose their balance, so they start standing up. So if you mimic that for me, and then in the downswing, we're going to see that that club shaft is going to come well and truly over the top. Now, with a club shaft this steep, what are we going to see happens to the body on the way down?
So we get a lot more of this bend forward, and as we do that, the club head goes over the top even more.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, depending on club face, this might be where that left one your demo comes in as well.
Oh, yeah.
So with a shut club face here, all the slope in the world is not going to make it have a small fade.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, all things considered, we now understand that the ball below your feet is challenging and is going to cause the ball to go a little bit to the right, all things being equal. What should players do to execute this shot?
So my first point of call is I think just know what's going to happen, know the slope will affect the ball flight and play with it.
Yeah.
So adjust your alignment accordingly.
Yeah.
Again, certainly when we see different slopes as well, as we change lofts, that's going to have an influence on where the ball starts and how much it moves to. I'd say contact is king, queen. So maintaining some sort of posture, even for the sacrifice of some distance, is really key here. So up and down this way, tough to strike the bottom of the golf ball. If you can keep your posture when you swing, even if it feels a little bit shorter, I've got more chance in this posture to strike the ball well.
Yeah.
And then from this position, know that it might start right, move right, address the target and aim accordingly. So for me, it would be some amount left of the pin, left of the target.
Okay, great. Go ahead and hit one for us. Perfect. So we can see that one did go a little bit to the right. We'll just swap places with you. Something that we do see helps immensely with recreational golfers when they are faced with a ball below their feet shot is to actually just have a rehearsal swing right next to the ball on the same undulation. And by doing so, Ollie, what that encourages us to do is calibrate our body for the lie. Like very often we'll see players have a practice swing back there or over there, and it might be on a slightly different slope. So then by the time they get to setting up to the golf ball, they haven't rehearsed what they wish to perform. And so it almost takes a few more seconds to get their body feeling balanced and ready to go ahead and execute the shot, right? So my recommendation for a lot of players is understand that the ball may go slightly to the right, so you can offset that by aiming a little bit to the left. Don't overdo it. Don't try and change your swing drastically. And then from there, have a practice swing, feeling as if you're brushing the ground and staying balanced. And it might make or take 2 or 3 swings to get accustomed to that, just to get the feeling of what difference of me making this little motion here would be from maybe a normal swing. You might have your weight a little bit further back. You might have to feel that you turn a little bit deeper, as Ollie was talking. Anything else you'd add on to that, Ollie?
No, just confirming what you said there with when it's a standard lie, a tee shot, par 3, you'll see even tour players have their same routine. It's a stock shot. Around the green, awkward lies. This is an awkward lie. Moving to find an appropriate or similar position, like you say, to rehearse what is coming up next.
Yeah.
And it could be even length of grass. You're not going to be on many fairways that have got a huge slope. So finding a deeper rough, can you get up, down, back of the ball a bit quicker rather than taking out a foot of grass before the ball? That type of thing. So trying to match up your practice swing with a similar lie, really it does help.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a practice swing, and this would be the exact process that Ollie and myself would go through if we were playing out on course. We're going to aim a little bit further left of our target. I'm going to have a practice swing here, brushing the ground. That felt pretty good. Now, from there, standing back behind, drawing a visual line just a little bit left of my intended start line, picking an intermediate target because I'm expecting this ball to go a little bit to the right. So I'm going to see this ball start just left and fade out to the right, Ollie. Started left, slightly coming back. So if the ball is below your feet, allow for the fact that the ball is going to go slightly to the right. Don't try and change your swing too much. Just use some rehearsal swings to get yourself calibrated for the shot.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.